Do do-it-yourself cloth masks really work? Well, yeah, kind of they do, but we can do a whole lot better than that. So let's back up just a little bit here and let's determine what we're talking about. Now, we're comparing a cloth mask to an N95 mask for the most part. So what is an N95 mask? Well, this is one type of N95 mask. It's a type of mask that a lot of the healthcare workers are using. So what does N95 mean? According to the CDC, the N means that if you put a drop of oil on this mask, it will soak through. And then the 95 means that 95% of the particulates will be filtered out from going in or coming out of the mask. Okay, well, what do they mean by particulates? Now, this is where we're getting into, there's a lot of information out there. I have been spending at least a week searching and looking at the CDC website and a lot of other websites to get all this information. And that's what I suggest you to do. Go on the CDC website, Google N95 mask, and there is one website that has a lot of information, and it's called smartairfilters.com. They give you a lot of graphs, a lot of information, a lot of technical information, and they're telling you what they have tested and how things perform. So that's where I got a lot of my information, was from that website. So when they're testing an N95 mask and it's keeping out 95% of the particulates, what they're talking about is any particle that is 0.007 microns small. Okay? Well, how big or how small is the virus? Well, it is 0.02 to 0.05 microns, which is a lot bigger than 0.007. So this filter will filter that out. And to give you some perspective, a bigger particle would be bacteria, and even bigger would be a blood cell. So an N95 will filter out an awful lot of particulates that are out there. But that's not the only way and the only thing that they test on an N95 mask. One of the other things is the amount of pressure going in and coming out of the mask. So if you have the mask on your face and you're breathing normally, that's one type of pressure. But let's say you were doing a lot of something, running, walking, and you're breathing a lot, there's going to be more pressure sucking in and pushing out on that mask. So this N95 mask will still only keep 95% particulates from coming in and going out at a low pressure and a high pressure. So that's two things that we're going to have to compare a cloth mask to. There's another thing that is called the fit test. And the fit test means that how well your mask fits around your mouth. Now, we've seen an awful lot of people out there with different cloth masks, either a bandana or even homemade masks, and you'll see off to the sides it's kind of open. So if you're breathing hard or even normally, the particles can come out and also can come in through that also. So having a very good tight fit mask is very, very important also. So we need to make a mask, and we would like it to be as good as an N95 mask. So a lot of people are trying to use the cloth masks. So how good are they? Well, they've actually been tested, and a cloth mask will filter out anywhere from 30 to 50% particles or particulates. So I really haven't been able to find out if you double that piece of cloth, if you take a t-shirt or a handkerchief and you double it, it doesn't go to 100%, and it doesn't even go up to 95%, because the holes in the cloth are still going to let particulates come through. What a cloth mask will do is, if you sneeze or if you breathe, it's going to keep that from going out and keep that breath and sneezing from coming in. But it's not going to keep the microns that are 0.02 to 0.05 small from coming in and going out. So let's try and figure out if we can make something that will filter that out. So I have heard, and on my research on the internet, I found that people are using vacuum cleaner bags, and specifically HEPA vacuum cleaner bags. This is a HEPA vacuum cleaner bag, and if I read on the back of it, it will filter out allergens, dust, pollens up to 5 microns, not even down to point anything. So this filter, even though it's a HEPA filter, won't even come close to filtering out the size of the microns that we really want to filter out. Now, there are other vacuum cleaner bags out there that are HEPA filter bags, and they will filter out microns as small as an N95 mask. But there are some things that I have heard about those. One, that it is very difficult to breathe through. I guess the material is so tightly woven that you have a hard time breathing in and out. Although there is a video out there that shows a doctor that has his wife making masks out of HEPA filter vacuum cleaner bags, and they're using them. It must be difficult to breathe through them. Another study that I saw is that some vacuum cleaner bags have fiberglass in them. Now, I'm not sure. Some say yes, some say no. Some studies say you can use a vacuum cleaner bag, some advise not to. So with all that going back and forth, I would suggest not to use a vacuum cleaner bag. There's people even talking about using the HEPA filters that go into your furnace. If you want to make some kind of mask and use that filter, I mean, that's totally up to you. But I think we found a better solution. Now, I don't know if you have heard about bicycle masks, and they are actually a respirator, and an N95 mask is also a respirator. But if you've ever seen anybody that is doing construction and are around dust, and they may have like a plastic or rubber mask that goes around their mouth and has some canisters or some filters, those are called respirators also. So a bicycle mask looks like a rubber or plastic respirator, or like an oxygen mask that goes around your face, and inside the bicycle mask there are two little pop in and pop out filters, and some of them are rated up to N95. So when you breathe in and out, that will be filtering as well as an N95 mask will also. But they're expensive. They're not readily around the house unless you're a bicyclist, and well, I don't know if you want to wear a bicycle mask around or not. So then we have seen another study come out, and it looks really promising. And as you notice that I have these blue shop towels here, and a study has been found that if you take a blue shop towel and double it in half, they have tested these, and they said that it is comparable and will filter up to 93 to 94% particulates, almost the same as an N95 mask. Now, the brand does matter according to the studies. The Toolbox and the Zep blue shop towels seem to work the best. They will filter out 93 to 94% particulates. A Scott blue shop towel will filter out just over 80%. But that's still really, really good. But then there is a little bit of a problem if you want to make a mask out of a shop towel. How are you going to attach it to go over your face? Now, I have seen people making these already. They're sewing them and making masks out of them, but the problem with a shop towel is they do kind of rip pretty easily. So I have been trying to figure out a way to make masks out of shop towels. And I've seen a couple videos on there that I really like. I just haven't gotten them to work. And they will take a sock or a footy, and they will cut the toe and the heel off, which will leave a tube. And then once you have the tube, now some are splitting it and making it bigger, but that's going to defeat the purpose that I want to do. The ones that have just cut the ears so you can put them around the strings to go around your ears, the problem is that I can't get it big enough to go over my big nose and my big mouth. So if I try this, it doesn't really fit that well. And the video that I saw a woman do, she was using a nylon footy. Now, nylon is not cotton, and that is something that we are told to use. We're told to use 100% cotton because that filters the best. If we start going into the Lycra and the spandex and the nylon, it's not going to filter nowhere near as good as the 100% cotton. So what I did get was I picked up, this is women's tights. I got them, and I cut the toe out of it. Actually, what I did was I cut the toe, and then I held it up to my face, and you'll see that it can stretch really well. And you can get it to go tight around your face if you sew something on some straps. If you sew some straps around there, it looks like it will really hold tight against your face. But there's a lot of us that don't have a sewing machine or know how to sew, and I liked the video that showed cutting the strings for the ears. So that's what I tried to do. I cut some of the strings, and there's videos out there that show you how to make these types of masks. Out of socks, out of tube socks, out of stockings, out of tights. And the reason you do that is you have a ready-made pocket that you can just slide your filters or your shop towels right in. Now, I know I've seen people using coffee filters and different things, but they have tested these already. And like I said, if you go on to the, I believe it was smartairfilters.com, they have the testing information on there that says that they have tested this, and they are even taking it to another level and sending it to the government to have them test it too. But it sounds pretty promising using the blue shop towels that are either Zep or Toolbox. And if you use some kind of stocking that you can just slide the shop towel in and make your own ears. Now this one isn't quite tight enough. I would have to go back and resize it, but it seems to work pretty well. You can put that shop towel in there, and then if it gets damaged or worn, you can take the shop towel out, throw the sock in the wash, cut yourself 2 new layers of blue shop towels and insert them, and you should be able to work fine. So I'm just trying to let you know that what I have been able to find out there, that the cloth do-it-yourself masks do work, but only from like 30 to 50% of the particulates they will filter out. But when you go to a 2-layer shop towel, it seems that they will filter out up to 94%. So if you're making any kind of mask, maybe you can incorporate the blue shop towels into it, and you can filter out a lot more particulates. So if anybody has any other suggestions or any other ideas, just leave them in the comments, and hopefully we can figure out how to make some better masks.